Hello everyone and welcome to No Man's Land. Before I start getting into this Let's Play, let me just explain to you how I got onto No Man's Land and explain why I'm starting with £3 million. Now that's what I call a busy night working on my farm up in the mountains. Let's head home for that nice cold beer that's in the fridge. Wait, what's that pinned to my door? So, there you have it. £2 million from the family. This farm's £1 million. My lifelong dream of owning that land between Spain and France called No Man's Land looks like it's about to come true. I'm not exactly sure what the future's going to hold, but I'll definitely miss this place with the views, the mountains and the different landscape opportunities you get through the different years. So welcome back. Here you find me travelling up to field 23 for where I'm going to put my first farm. I did look at areas 1 to 7 at the back, but they were just too hilly. I find 23 is perfect because you've got sort of an in-road that goes round and an out-road. So sort of the in-road sort of could be 24 and an out-road is 13, 14. It's sort of a semicircle. You can sort of have that main road that goes through 23 as sort of the main track, and then sort of your farm buildings go sort of around it. So, right, let's purchase 23. Seeing I'm just thinking, just double checking everything. Yep, so purchase field 23. And then what I'll probably start doing is, before I put any buildings down, I'll punch the road in and put a dirt texture through. So I'll just park up. That should be out of the way there. I'm going to run this onto a time lapse now while I put this in, and then I'll see you guys in a little bit. So just finishing off the last little bit of texturing here. So yeah, that's perfect. So now we can start looking at getting the sheds lined up how we need them. So what I was going to plan to do is have a compact yard, but have like it in a U shape, as it were. So I have the front and back sealed off, and then sheds in the middle. So I've gone for, and this is what I'm looking at the minute, working out better. So I've gone with a Missy B, 2 of those sheds at the front there with the opening in the end to sort of close this back end off. So I'm going to put 2 in there, and then that should look pretty nice when it's down. So I'm just making sure I'll get that straight to that back grass as possible. I decided I had to leave a little bit of a gap in between. I'm just working out where the gaps are now, so it looks nice. So I've got the 2 in there like that. Then I decided to then to put a bit of grass in the middle there, because I thought that would look nice. Yeah, so decided to go for the compact yard look. Try and make it a little bit realistic as possible with how it's going to turn out. I had sort of an idea in my head with how I was going to get it to go. And then I thought I'd put the grass in the middle to make it sort of realistic, because I thought you wouldn't exactly have mud down the side of there with how short it is, because you wouldn't really have buildings or anything. So I thought, the grass will look nice down here. So I thought I'd texture that in. But yeah, how's everyone enjoying No Man's? It's one of my favourite maps because you can do sort of different design, different things. You can do survival across sort of survival challenge where you start with sort of nothing and build up, or you've done what I've done. Even with sort of £3 million budget, it still was going to be a challenge because I still have to save up for stuff. You can't sort of just spend. So yeah, I'm happy with that. So now I like this. This is one of my best workshops. Sort of a modern looking workshop design. You just got to get it the right way round. So but then I had an idea halfway through. So I was about to put that in there and I thought, hang on, no. So my next idea would be going through the menu. There you go, 2AJ. So I thought, hang on, I got an idea. So I was going to put that there and I thought that doesn't look quite right. So I thought, right, I'll put 2 of these in. And that black box. And that blocks off the back end. So I thought, okay, I'll have this here. Because I thought that looks nice. And it's perfectly square to the other 2 at the front. So I thought, you know what? So I left a bit bigger gap. Because I thought, and this is what I was looking at now, panning around and thinking, I can get a tractor in there. So, and you'll see why I decided to do that. Because I thought, another exit. So I thought, right, them 2. And that looks nice. And yeah, that gap between them should be able to get a tractor down. And then I decided, I'm just looking. So I was just thinking, because with builds, I've got so many different sheds on here. It's trying to find something that suits and something that fits in. So I've gone for sort of the bigger of the sheds. So I thought that, but it looked a bit too big. Now, for me, the way I prefer, I am looking for again, Missy B, I think it is mod. There you go. Grain liquid silo. Now, this I love because my idea on this map is I don't want to make too many trips to the store. So originally I was going to put it here, but I thought it would be better. So my brain was going, does this look great? And I looked at the design plans and went, you know what? It might actually look somewhere slightly different. This is what I'm thinking. Can I get a vehicle in and out manoeuvrable? Because a lot of the time on this map also I'll be using big lorries and stuff. So that's what's going through my head right now. Where would it fit? Where would it go? And that's sort of the processing through my mind at the moment is. And that's why I decided to go. I'll come back to that mod in a minute. I went back to my original plan. So I got this. I thought, hang on, this looks great. So the reason I prefer this is if you've got a dolly trailer, I personally hate manoeuvring dolly trailers because they never go where you want them to go. So with this mod, I can go in and out straight through. So what I'm now working out is location and size. So because I will be moving lorries around this yard, I'm thinking, right, where do I want it to end up going? So now I'm just basically making sure it's straight with the other 3. Because I like it where it is there. Pushing it as far back into the trees as possible. Now, I like that. Right, have a walk around and see how this looks on the foot. Quite like that. The floor's going to have to be changed on that. It's a shame I've raised that slightly. I'll have to do a bit of landscape smoothing out on that. I forgot the back rises up a fraction. But yeah, no, that looks good. Then you've got the 2 main yards at the back, so there's enough room to swing sort of a lorry around and stuff like that, which is always good. Right, now for the silo. Trying to get this silo in. Because where the layout of the base is gone. Right. So there's only one place this silo can basically go. I'm just working out. And I thought, you know what? I thought I'd put it down here. Because then you can drive straight through it. Drive in and drive out. Now, did I want the grain silos at the front, or did I want the liquid silos at the back at the front? Because what I'll also end up adding is extensions to this, because you can add liquid extensions to hold more and grain extensions to hold more. And in the end, I decided to put it here because it's sort of out of the way of everything else. Now with this build also, I'll probably, depending on how long this video goes for, I'll probably end up time-lapsing some more of this. If you don't want to hear me waffling on for hours, which I can do quite comfortably. Now I'm just working out different positions. I don't know why I decided to do that. And in the end, yeah, I decided to go with the 2 grain at the back and then the liquid at the front. So now what I'm just doing is I'm lining it up with that line and that line just to make it look nice. I've just noticed those 2 buildings at the back aren't perfectly straight with each other, but I'll have to live with that. And then of course finding the right texture again, because it always slaps concrete down. And it's trying to remember the right one, because there's like 5 different mud textures throughout this build. And then what I'm also trying to work out is if a lorry's coming in to tip, because what I usually do is I'll usually get 70,000-80,000 litres of seed, lime, solid fertiliser and just store it in here. So I'm also working out if a lorry comes in, which way is it going to drive into it? Will it go across the grass? And this way I end up deciding to take the grass out as well. I'm not sure in real life if you would have straight lines or you have edging. And that's what I'm working out now, is what I want to take off. Because I do like having the mixture of grass and mud. And I think with this being no man's land, you may eventually upgrade the concrete. But I like the mud texture. And straight away, you can see I've got the wrong mud texture. And then I realised that. I went, because I'll infill that there and then. So yeah, I love the amount of different landscapes. You got like 4 different mud textures. Sort of a light one, a dark one. And now I'm just working out to try and match it in. Because you wouldn't really have 2 different mud textures. So match it in. And it's still not quite right. There's still patches here and there that I noticed throughout. But generically that should be okay. So this would be probably one of 3 farms. Because I may end up doing a cattle farm and a pig farm over as the course of time. Really expand as much of this map as possible. But yeah, you can tell my idea, sort of one way, sort of a main way in, main way out. And then I try to flatten this as best I could. Because there's the thing with this, if you don't start off flat, it'll always level out wherever it can. I don't quite realise how far back I went on this one. So that's probably me enough waffling, so I'll time lapse the next bit and then see you in a minute. So that's the grain extension and the silo extension put on and finish, and then just the general texturing to finish off. Now, I have made a little mistake. Between finishing the grain silo, I did put an extra shed in and then started the house, put the house down and done a bit of textured landscaping around it to make sort of a pathway up to it. But between me dropping a shed down and putting the house in, I didn't realise it didn't record, so my apologies for that. But that'll do for the episode. Please join me again for episode 2, where we'll be starting to look to plough and add our fields in around the area.